Konate for me probably now is in the best run of form that he's ever been in.
Konate and Van Dijk, as you say, Van Dijk has obviously returned to Liverpool early this week after kind of been done with its internationals with Holland. But I mean, those two have been imperious, haven't they, this season? And kind of everything Liverpool have done well has kind of been bred from them, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what is it? 6 goals conceded in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League, which is 3 minutes into the AC Milan game, and he played 4 games since and kept clean sheets in all of them, haven't he? So, yeah, really strong. Konate for me probably now is in the best run of form that he's ever been in at Liverpool, because he was always rotated with Matip for league games, Premier League games. A bit of a weird sort of rotation policy that the Klopp had for those games. He's picked up a fair few injuries. He's been out of form at times, notably towards the back end of last season. But looking at it now, he's really piecing it all together. And I think a lot of it, or part of it, has helped with Trent becoming more of an orthodox right back this season, rather than the sort of marauding, attacking, almost winger at times, or, central midfielder that he played at times as well under Klopp. So having a much more settled system as a back 4, as a back 5, has helped Konate massively. He's not having to cover as much ground. And also as well, having McAllister and Gravenberch in front of him as the sort of shields, it's all sort of working in tandem, isn't it? So, yeah, he's been brilliant. Van Dijk, his levels haven't dipped. If anything, they've gone up. And, what a sort of fearsome partnership that is at the moment.
It offers some reassurance if the worst happens and Van Dijk does go at the end of the contract. Like, it's always been Van Dijk and one of other from 3-4 players. But now Konate's really emerging as a leader. Like, he's another player who's had a good international break. They got Captain France last night, got a really good 3-1 win away at Italy, which means they've got top spot. So they'll be seeded for the Nations League playoffs. But yeah, he's got rave reviews there. They got a clean sheet in the first game. I think it's not easy to lead France. They've always had difficulties, I suppose, with the media or the issues in the camp, and they've got the issues with Mbappe at the moment, whether he should be in or not. So it's not an easy place to be at the moment, but for him to help them get that really important win, he's just building on that form he's had for so far for Liverpool this season. And he's probably outshining Van Dijk, if we're being honest. Maybe because he's come from further back and Van Dijk is just doing what Van Dijk does, so you take it for granted a little bit more. It's just normal. But yeah, he's been superb in so many games. He's got the pace, he's got the power, he's winning the challenges, and he's actually got a couple of goals this year as well. He's really come on.
One thing I would say about him getting the France captaincy is it just sort of hammers home how sort of professional and dedicated this Liverpool group is, because if you look around the squad and you've got the captain of Japan in Endo, captain of Egypt in Salah, captain of Holland, Van Dijk, captain of Scotland, Robertson obviously, captain of Hungary is Bosley, and now Konate with France. I don't know whether he's got that permanently or whether he's sort of chopping and changing with too many. I'm not sure whether the decision has been made there permanently, but the fact that he's being trialled suggests that this is a player who is serious about his work, his preparation, his dedication, his professionalism, all this sort of stuff that no doubt he's picked up from his teammates across the last few years. So I think having that many leaders in the group at Liverpool is sometimes it's things that we don't see, but certainly around the camp it must be massively important.
Absolutely. And I mean, to have someone like Van Dijk, Theo, next year to kind of learn your trade, as Konate, has done over the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, that is kind of invaluable. Just in terms of Van Dijk, I mean, for you, is he absolutely back to his best of that kind of, you think of 19, 20, 18, 19, is he back to his best, at those levels?
He's not really been tested to the extent for us to find out, has he? I don't think he'll ever be viewed the same way there, just because it's been so long now. For you to get back to a good level after an ACL injury and still be competing for the biggest honours and be captain of Liverpool now, that says a lot. The armband obviously seems to get another level out of him again. He doesn't seem to have been criticised as much by the Dutch media the last couple of international breaks. Right. So yeah, he must be doing something.
He stopped doing press conferences.
Was he?
Yeah.
Look, I got in the mood with him.
Read a quote from him today that someone asked him why we stopped doing them, and he said, I see you've noticed that. And I think he just sort of said, I do enough media as it is, and it's time for the other lads to have a little go of it. But yeah, he always sort of fronts up, doesn't he, in his role as the leader of the group.
Yeah, he's just been having another really good season, isn't he? And it probably helps him having that stable partner alongside him. Like, you know how good he can be alongside Joe Gomez, and we saw decent glimpses alongside Krancer. But when you've got a new head coach coming in, you need stability and you need your captain to lead by example, and he's exactly what he's doing. I'm sure we'll have that conversation so many times this season before it gets resolved, but you want him to get that contract sorted as soon as possible, because he's 32, 33, I think. You can get another 2 years out of him easily, can't you? Like, even if at that end of the contract he isn't first choice, first name on the list. He's still a vital squad player. That's very good to have at centre-backs. Like we saw it, Jamie Carragher, Sami Hyypiä. It doesn't matter if they're not playing week in, week out towards the end of that contract. They've still got such a vital role to play in the squad. When Van Dijk is this huge leader, you just want him around the camp for as long as you can keep him.